Hey guys, this is Rob with saltironmtg.com. Gonna make this a quick video, just a Kaladesh box opening. I wanted to apologize for not putting out very much content lately. Me and a friend of mine recorded a pretty awesome video of a game we made up involving opening packs, and it's kind of like war, but it didn't work out. Something happened with the camera, and yeah, we lost the whole video. So this is the latest video I've been doing in a while, just a box opening at Kaladesh. So let's just get started. There's a lot of awesome cards in this set. There's these masterpiece cards, or yeah, I think they're called masterpieces, and it's just reprints of old artifacts and some new ones, kind of riding off the coattails of their Expedition Land idea. There's also a couple new planeswalkers we've never seen, so let's hope I get some good ones. I'll just be doing the uncommons and the rares. I'm not going to go through each common and uncommon. So our first one is Ballista Charger, Era of Innovation, Gear Shift Ace, and Bomat Courier. Seems like these packs are a little bit more rigid, like a little bit of a thicker plastic on them, or foil or whatever. Alright. Hazardous Conditions, Aether Meltdown, Incendiary Sabotage, and Spirebluff Canal, one of the cards I'm actually looking for. Alright. Oval Chase Daredevil, Visionary Augmenter, Aether Meltdown, Deadlock Trap, and a foil plains. I might read off a couple of these, the rares for you guys. Decoction Module, Armorcraft Judge, Janjeet Sentry, and our first mythic, Torrential Gearhulk. So it's a 6-drop artifact creature construct with flash. Starts up at 5/6. When Torrential Gearhulk enters the battlefield, you may cast target instant card from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that card would be put into your graveyard this turn, exile it instead. So that's a pretty awesome card. I also got a foil Accomplished Automaton. What's interesting is this was in here upside down. So that's a little weird, but alright. We got Furious Reprisal, Start Your Engines, which is a card that I could see getting some play here coming up pretty soon with all the different vehicles. Minister of Inquiries and Lost Legacy. I'm really hoping for one of those masterpieces. Alright. Long-Finned Sky Whale, Chief of the Foundry, Glint Nest Crane, which I actually think is a pretty awesome card. It's a 2-drop, 1/3 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them and put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Pretty awesome card. Madcap Experiment and a foil Blossoming Defense. Do you guys have a favorite card from this video? Leave it in the comments. See what I can do about maybe shipping a few of them out. All right. Shrewd Negotiation. Underhanded Design. Ceremonious Rejection. And Aether Squall Ancient. Foundry Inspector, which I think is pretty awesome. Makes artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. That's a pretty awesome card. Furious Reprisal. Inventor's Apprentice. And our second mythic, that's Demon of Dark Schemes. So it's a 6-drop, 5/5 flying. When Demon of Dark Schemes enters the battlefield, all other creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. Whenever another creature dies, you get an energy counter, and you can tap 3 mana, pay 4 energy counters, and put target creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control tapped. So that's a pretty neat card. Feels good to be doing videos again. Alright, Harnessed Lightning, Fabrication Module, Brazen Scourge, and Botanical Sanctum. Do you guys feel that any one color dominates this set? I've heard a lot about red-white vehicles, so maybe we'll see that coming up on the Pro Tour here pretty soon. So we got Aether Torch Renegade, Contraband Kingpin, Glint Nest Crane, and a Skyship Stalker. So it's a dragon, pretty cool. 4-drop, 3/3 flying. You can pay 1 red. Oh, it has fire breathing. You can pay a red to give it first strike, and you can pay a red to give it haste. So I feel like maybe for 1 more mana, you could have just put fire breathing and first strike and haste on it. Probably would have been more playable. Here we go. Oval Chase Dragster. Hazardous Conditions, Creeping Mold, and Inspired Vantage. I'm liking these lands. I'm a huge land fan. What do you guys think of the artwork of this set? I like it. It's kind of cool to have a set that's not revolving around like constant battle or war, more like an Inventor's Fair feel. Pretty cool. So we got Voltaic Brawler, Minister of Inquiries, Starter Engines, and Toolcraft Exemplar. Another cool card. I guess I could read it for you. 1/1 Dwarf Artificer for 1. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, if you control an artifact, Toolcraft Exemplar gets +2/+1 until end of the turn. If you control 3 or more artifacts, it also gets first strike. So pretty decent. I noticed that dwarfs are making an appearance in this set as white creatures, which is out of the norm for wizards to print. So that's pretty cool. So we got Make Obsolete, Aerial Responder, Spark of Creativity, and Wildest Dreams. Nothing too special about that pack. Okay. Another Make Obsolete. Imperial Voyager. Servo Exhibition. And Cultivator's Caravan. That's one of the vehicles I think I like a little bit more. It's a 3-drop 5/5. You can tap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Now, since it's an artifact, some people had a question about this with me. You don't have to crew it to be able to tap it for mana. I know that seems like a pretty easy thing to understand, but I did have some questions about it. And it only has a crew of 3, so Depala fits into that pretty perfectly. I haven't got a masterpiece yet. Any of them. I mean, of course I'd like a Crucible of Worlds, but any of them would be really awesome. So looking at Aether Touched Renegade, Decoction Module, Snare Thopter, and our rare is Gonti, Lord of Luxury. So this one's pretty cool. 4-drop, 2/3 with Death Touch. It's kind of lengthy. When Gonti, Lord of Luxury, enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of target opponent's library. Exile 1 of them face down, then put the rest of the bottom of that library in a random order. For as long as that card remains exiled, you may look at it, you may cast it, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast it. Kind of a neat ability. It's a wall of text, though. Jeez. All right. Demolition Stomper. Shrewd Negotiation. Perpetual Timepiece, which I like. And Lathnu Hellion. Nothing overly special about that set. About that pack, rather. I've yet to get a Planeswalker, too. That's kind of a bummer so far, but I still got a lot of packs. Fretwork Colony. Refurbish. Aether Hub. And Eliminate the Competition. I like the lore on that. Kind of goes back to like the race, the competition between inventors. So we got a Long Tusk Cub, Ballista Charger, Diabolic Tutor, and I think this is a pretty awesome piece. It's a reprint, obviously. But what I think is really awesome about it is actually the artwork. So it's Liliana whispering into Chandra's ear, which I think could be pretty lore intensive. I know that she corrupted Garruk. I mean, could we see a corrupted Chandra? Who knows? Our rare is Dubious Challenge, and we actually got 2 rares in this. I got a foil Key to the City. So that's a 2-drop artifact that you can tap, or you can tap it, discard a card. Up to 1 target creature can't be blocked this turn. Whenever Key to the City becomes untapped, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. Some probably a little bit of some minor combos going on with that piece. My heart jumped a little bit when I saw a foil in back of the like a foil rare in back of the regular rare, but wasn't one of the masterpieces. So you've got Demolition Stomper, which is a 10/7. That's pretty crazy. Visionary Augmenter, Girapur Guide, and Authority of the Councils. I'd like to know what you guys think about the starter decks being the Planeswalker exclusive decks, and there only being 2, Chandra and Nissa. And also, what do you guys think about cards being printed in those sets not released in boosters and still being standard legal. So let me know what you think about that. Fretwork Colony, Glimmer of Genius, Consul's Shield Guard, and a Pia Nalar, which is sad, right? Karan's not in it. Got a foil Aradara Express. They're teasing me with all these foils. I'm not keep getting excited, thinking I'm gonna have a masterpiece. Okay. Imperial Voyager, Speedway Fanatic, Elegant Edge Crafters, and Smuggler's Copter. I like this card. It's a 2-drop 3/3 flying. When it attacks or blocks, you may draw a card if you do discard a card, and it only crews for 1. A lot of vehicles in this booster box so far. Okay. Chief of the Foundry. Pretty cool card. Sequestered Stash. Maulfist Doorbuster. And a Midnight Oil. Midnight Oil is interesting. Let me read it for you. It's a 4-drop enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, with 7 hour counters on it. At the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card and remove 2 hour counters from Midnight Oil. Your maximum hand size is equal to the number of hour counters on Midnight Oil, and whenever you discard a card, you lose 1 life. So there's some good and some bad with it. Definitely a weird card. If you guys know about any cool any cool combos you can do with that, leave it in the comments. I'd like to hear them. All right, we got a Long Tusk Cub, Weapon Craft Enthusiast, Perpetual Timepiece, and Padim Council of Innovation, which I've heard would probably make a pretty decent commander. It's a 4-drop, 1/4. Artifacts you control have hexproof. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control the artifact with the highest converted mana cost or tied for the highest converted mana cost, draw a card. I agree with the fact that it could be a pretty awesome commander. I mean, just being able to give artifacts hexproof as a passive, as well as being able to draw cards to lay down more artifacts. It's pretty awesome. Long-Finned Whale, Whirler Maker, Quicksmith Genius, and Captured by the Consulate. Not super special. All right. Weapon Craft Enthusiast, which I think has some pretty awesome art on it. Whirler Virtuoso, Consulate Surveillance, and Camball Council of Allocation, which I also don't think would be a terrible commander. It's a 3-drop, 2/3. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, that player loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. Now, it's not great. Not a great commander. But it's interesting. It's cool. Has a lot to do with that lose health, gain health thing that Orzhov seems to be favorable of. All right. Whirler Virtuoso, Servant of the Conduit, Restoration Gearsmith, and Metalwork Colossus. I like the art on the front of these packs too. Pretty cool. Hopefully I'll be able to make a couple videos from this set. I think I'm going to end up buying a lot, trying to score some masterpieces. Considering how heavily artifacts are used in almost every form of play. Aerial Responder. Blossoming Defense. Trusty Companion. And Animation Module. I'm getting pretty low on packs. I'm hoping I pull something good soon. I've got a couple alright cards, but I haven't really pulled any bombs yet. At least that I know about. Maybe I did, and I just looked over them like a dummy. Contraband Kingpin. Servo Exhibition. Diabolic Tutor. And our third Mythic, Verdurous Gearhulk. So this is a 5-drop 4/4 artifact construct creature. It has trample. When it enters the battlefield, distribute 4 +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control. Pretty cool. That might make its way into my Animar deck. Be able to cast it for 2, have a 4/4 trample, and I can distribute 4 1/1 counters right back onto Animar to make my next few spells cost a lot less. Alright, Nature's Way. Fairgrounds Trumpeter. Experimental Aviator. And Fumigate. We needed another field wipe, so that's good. Alright. Unlicensed Disintegration, which I thought was kind of a weird name for a card, right? You have to get a license to disintegrate things on Kaladesh. Veteran Motorist, awesome card. Disappearing Act. Ooh, alright. We got a Depala. So before I go into what was in the back of this, I'm going to read off Depala because I think she's one of the best cards in this set. She is a 3-drop, 3/3 legendary creature dwarf pilot. So I know that the dwarfs were waiting for a lord, so this is pretty cool, something to buff them. So other dwarves you control get +1/+1. Each vehicle you control gets +1/+1 as long as it's a creature. And whenever Depala Pilot Exemplar becomes tapped, you may pay X. If you do, reveal the top X cards of your library. Put all dwarfs and vehicle cards from among them into your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Now, I think she would make a great commander. You could stuff a bunch of dwarfs, which in the early sets are prone to land destruction, and you could stuff a bunch of vehicles in there, and you could pilot the vehicles, tap for X, find your dwarfs, find your vehicles. I think she's just a worthwhile commander, and let me know what you think. And then we got our first masterpiece, the classic, the Forever Soul Ring. If you don't know what it does, or you'd like to appreciate the artwork, it's a 1-drop artifact that taps for 2 diamond mana. So this is absolutely beautiful. I'm so glad I pulled this one. This one will not be for sale on my website. I will be using it. So let's hope that I can pull another one. I know that, I guess the trend is you only get 1 per box, but I got 2, I've gotten 2 expedition lands from 1 box, so there's always a chance. I don't even want to put cards on top of it. Anyway, Iron League Steed, Essence Extraction, Veteran Motorist, and Electrostatic Pummeler. Sounds like my neighbors are jamming out. We got an Aether-born Marauder, a Veteran Motorist, Disappearing Act, and a Scrap Heap Scrounger, as well as a foil Aviary Mechanic. Getting pretty low. I think this is our 4th to last pack. So we've got a Wisp Weaver Angel, Restoration Gearsmith, Durable Handicraft, and Panharmonicon. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with this card, I really feel like this is going to fall into a lot of EDH decks because I believe that there's about 10 million broken combos that can go with it. So let me read it off for you. It's a 4-drop artifact. If an artifact or creature entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability or of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So it's excellent. It's definitely going to find its way into a few of my EDH decks. Let me know how you're going to use it. I'd love to hear some combos. All right. Engineered Might, Oval Chase Daredevil, Sequestered Stash, and Marionette Master. This is also another cool card. It is let's try to get it closer for you, a 6-drop 1/3 with Fabricate 3. Whenever an artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to Marionette Master's power. So, definitely cool. Put some counters on her with the Fabricate ability, and people start losing 4 health every time an artifact is put from the graveyard to the battlefield. Looks like we got a Foundry Inspector, Voltaic Brawler, Ceremonious Rejection, and Paradoxical Outcome. This is a 4-drop instant. Return any number of return any number of target non-land, non-token permanents you control to their owner's hands. Draw a card for each card returned to your hand this way. Pretty cool. Alright guys, this is our last pack. Before we open it, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe, like, leave as many comments as you like. We always appreciate shares on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anything. Always awesome. And of course, every card that's open in this video, with the exception of one, the Soul Ring, will be for sale at saltironmtg.com. We also have profiles on TCG Player and eBay. So make sure you check us out. We have a ton of good cards for cheap. So let's get into our last pack. Crossing my fingers for a Planeswalker. Alright guys. Harsh Scrutiny. Wisp Weaver Angel. Morbid Curiosity. And an Aetherworks Marvel, which is our fifth mythic rare, including the Soul Ring. But this is a pretty cool card. It's a 4-drop artifact. Whenever a permanent you control is put into a graveyard, you get an energy counter. You may pay 6 energy counters. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may cast a card from among them without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. It's pretty cool with those energy counter intensive decks. And we got a foil Imperial Voyager. So that's it for my Kaladesh box. Hopefully, I'll be opening another one very soon. Thank you so much for watching.